Welcome to day 8 and the beginning of week 2. Last week, we focused on the practical, tangible sides of your finances, the numbers, the systems, the tracking. This week, we're going deeper. We're going to be discussing something that most people never want to examine, and that's the money story. The way that you handle money today isn't just a random act. It's not just about willpower or discipline or being good with money or bad with money. It's your financial behaviors that are rooted in beliefs that you formed before you even had your own bank account. And those beliefs are running your financial life from behind the scenes. And if you don't bring them to the light, they're going to keep blocking you from home ownership, no matter how good or how bad your budget is. Today, we're going to unpack it all. We're going to be talking about your money story, the beliefs that you absorbed as a child, the narratives that you now tell yourself, and how to rewrite them. Your money story is the collection of beliefs, the messages, and the narratives that you've internalized about money throughout your life, especially in your childhood. It's going to include things like what you saw your parents do with money, what they said about money, and what they didn't say. A lot of us didn't have that financial knowledge entering into the adulthood. How money was discussed in your home, or was it avoided? The emotions that surrounding money conversations, what you learned about what people like you can achieve financially, messages that you received about wealth, poverty, and what you deserve. These beliefs live in your subconscious. And so they're automatic. They're so ingrained that you don't even realize that it's influencing every financial decision that you make. A few example beliefs that might be running your life currently might be a belief that money doesn't grow on trees. It's a scarcity mindset. Rich people are greedy. That's guilt about wanting financial success. We can't afford that. Belief that lack is permanent. Money is the root of all evil. That's a subconscious rejection of wealth. We're not the kind of people who own homes. That's identity level limitation. It's selfish to want more when others have less. Guess what? Self sabotage. These aren't just random thoughts, they're the operating system that your financial life is currently running on. And if the operating system has bugs, no amount of budgeting apps is going to fix it. So today, we're going to be examining that operating system. I'm going to walk you through some questions, and I don't want you to overthink them. Just notice what comes up. You might want to grab your journal for this particular part of the video. So, how did your parents handle money? Did they budget? Did they save, spend freely, struggle? Did they argue about money? Was money tight, comfortable, or abundant? Did one parent control the money while the other didn't have access? Second question, what were the recurring money phrases in your household? Think about it. What did you hear over and over again? Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. What's mine is mine. What's yours is yours. There's always enough. We have to save for a rainy day. You have to work hard for every dollar. Easy come, easy go. What emotions surrounded money in your home? Was it stress and anxiety? Was it secrecy and shame? Was it pride and gratitude? Was it fear and scarcity? Was it calm and confident? Was it anger and resentment? Another question, what did you learn about what's possible for people like you? Did your parents own a home? What did they say about home ownership? What did they communicate about your family's place in the economic hierarchy? What financial goals did they model or talk about? Question number 5 is, what's your earliest memory involving money? Was it positive or negative? What did you learn from that particular experience? Does that memory still affect you on today? Question 6, when you were a child and you wanted something, what actually happened? Were you told yes easily? Did you have to earn it? Were you made to feel guilty for wanting something? Were you taught that wanting is bad? For 7, did you experience financial instability or trauma? Was there evictions or foreclosures? Was utilities constantly shutting off? Parents losing jobs, going without necessities? Was it sudden financial loss? If you experience financial trauma as a child, I want you to know that those particular experiences weren't your fault and they don't determine what your future is going to look like, but they did shape your relationship with money, and that's important to understand. For question number 8, I want you to ask, what were you taught about wealthy people? Were they admired? Were they resented? Were they seen as lucky, hardworking, or corrupt? Was wealth something to aspire to or something to be suspicious of? For question number 9, what were you taught about poverty? Was it a personal failing or systemic issue? Was it temporary or permanent? Was it shameful or just a fact of life? And for question number 10, what did you learn about what you deserve? That you deserve comfort and security, that struggle is noble and comfort is selfish, that wanting more means that you're ungrateful, that you should be satisfied with less. Now that we've dug deep into some of your money story, let's identify the specific beliefs that might be blocking your path to home ownership. Belief number 1 is people like me don't own homes. This is an identity level belief, and it's not about affordability, it's about belonging. This belief usually comes from growing up in a family that always rented, being part of a community with low home ownership rates. It's even messages that home ownership is for other people. Even when you have the money, you might self sabotage because home ownership feels like you're trying to be someone that you're not. For belief number 2, I'm not responsible enough to own a home. This is a belief about your own capability, and it comes from past financial mistakes you haven't forgiven yourself about. It's messages that you're bad with money. It's comparison to others who seem to have it more together. You don't take the necessary steps because deep down you don't believe that you can handle it. Belief number 3 is that I don't deserve to own a home while others are struggling. This is a guilt that's masquerading as comparison. It comes from messages that it's selfish to want more. It's also survivor's guilt if you come from poverty. Belief that your success comes at someone else's expense. So you begin to subconsciously sabotage yourself because success feels morally wrong. But belief number 4 is home ownership is impossible for me. This is learned helplessness. And you know what? It comes from watching others who fail, multiple rejections, or they have multiple setbacks. It's overwhelmed from not knowing where to start. If it's impossible, why try? So this belief prevents you from even beginning. Belief number 5 is I have to do this perfectly or not at all. This is perfectionism blocking progress. So many people have this belief, and it comes from high achiever tendencies, fear of failure, all or nothing thinking. You wait for the perfect conditions that never come, or you quit at the first mistake. Belief 6 says if I get a home, something bad will happen. Now, this is fear of success. And oh boy, does this one come from experiences where good things were followed by bad things, the belief that you'll be punished by having too much, superstition or magical thinking. It blocks you because you unconsciously keep yourself from success to avoid the imagined catastrophe. Now, these beliefs, they feel like truth, but they're not. They're just stories, and stories, they can be rewritten. Let's talk about how these beliefs they show up in your actual financial behaviors. If you believe that I don't deserve nice things, you might sabotage your savings by spending right before hitting the goal. You feel guilty whenever you have extra money, or you'll give money away even when you need it. You stay in situations below what you could actually afford. And if you believe that money is scarce and there's never enough, you might hoard money but never feel secure. You panic spend whenever you have money because you assume that it's going to disappear. You refuse to invest in yourself. You stay in underpaid situations because at least it's something. If you believe that I'm bad with money, you might avoid looking at your accounts, make impulsive decisions because it'll mess up anyway, not trusting yourself to make some good decisions. You prove your belief right through self sabotage. And if you believe that home ownership isn't for people like me, You might not research the process. You might not save for a down payment. You tell yourself that you're fine renting forever. You find reasons why every home isn't right. Your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior, your results. If you want different results, you have to go back to the beliefs. All right, now comes the powerful part. We're going to rewrite your money story. First step, we're going to identify your core limiting beliefs from everything that we discussed. What's the one belief that's the most blocking to your home ownership journey? I want you to write it down. My core limiting belief about money or home ownership is, and then fill in the blank. Step two, I want you to examine the evidence. Ask yourself, is this belief 100% true? Where did I learn this? Who benefits from me believing this? What evidence contradicts this particular belief? Do I have proof that the opposite might be true? For example, the belief might say people like me don't own homes. The evidence against that says I know someone from a similar background who owns a home. There are first generation homeowners. Home ownership rates for people like me are lower, but they're not zero. I've already done things that people said that I couldn't do. Step three, I want you to create a new empowering belief. You can't just delete a belief, you have to actually replace it with something stronger. So the old belief may say that people like me don't own homes, but the new belief says, I'm creating a new story for my family. I will be the first homeowner. Another old belief might say, I'm not responsible enough to own a home. The new belief says that I'm learning and I'm growing every single day. I'm building the skills that I actually need. Another old belief, I don't deserve a home while others struggle. The new belief is my success doesn't take from others and I can own a home and support my community. One last one, home ownership is impossible for me. But the new belief says home ownership is challenging but possible and others have done it and so can I. You know what? I got one more bonus one. If I succeed, something bad will happen to me. The new belief says I'm allowed to have good things. Success is safe for me. For step four, I want you to find your evidence and anchor it. Your new belief needs support. So find evidence, people who had your limiting belief and they overcame it, times that you've succeeded when you thought you couldn't, skills that you have already built that prove your capability, also progress that you've made in this challenge over the last 8 days. Practice your new narrative daily. And here's how you do that. You write your new belief every morning. You say it out loud before making any financial decisions. You create a visual reminder in your financial command center. Catch yourself whenever that old belief starts to show up and consciously replace it, your old belief that you've had for years, maybe even decades, to become automatic. So your new belief will take time to feel natural, and that's okay. So keep choosing it anyway. Here's your work and your action steps for today. For action step number one, answer all the 10 childhood money questions honestly. Go ahead and write them down. Don't just think about them. For step two, I want you to identify your core limiting belief about money or home ownership. For step three, examine the evidence against that belief. Find at least three pieces of proof that is not absolute truth. For step four, write your new empowering belief. Make it specific, positive, and even in present tense. For action step number five, find three pieces of evidence or examples that support your new belief. For step six, write your new belief on a card, put it in your financial command center where you're going to see it daily. And for action step number seven, I want you to share your old belief and new belief with someone you trust or write it in a journal entry titled My New Money Story. Today was deep work, and you might be feeling emotional, reflective, or even resistant. And that's all normal. You just looked at programming that's been running your entire life since childhood, and that's vulnerable and also brave. But here's what you need to know: you are not bound by your past, you are not limited by the beliefs you inherited. You get to choose what you believe about money and what you believe about yourself. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the comparison trap and how comparing yourself to others this keeps you stuck and how to actually break free from it. But tonight, I want you to sit with your new money story. Let it start taking root. You're rewriting the narrative, and that changes everything. Listen, that's it for day 8 of the Organize Your Ish Challenge. Remember, progress over perfection, small steps done consistently. That's what creates real change. And if you haven't already joined our Facebook community, Dream It, Affirm It, Own It, where we're walking this journey together and we're keeping each other accountable. And don't forget, if you have not subscribed over on YouTube to our channel, so you don't miss any day of the challenge. Listen, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow with the same focus, same faith, and same commitment. Bye now.